Welcome, students, to the explanation of the chapter Should Wizard Hit Mommy by John Updike from the book Vistas. Should Wizard Hit Mommy is a children's story dealing with the serious theme of good parenting and the adult tendency to curb the curious and questioning mind of a child. Jack, the father of 4-year-old
Joanne,
often shortened in the story to Joe, tries to teach her moral values through his stories. Every story is a slight variation of the same story.
Joanne,
Being very young, fails to realize the true worth of originality. Jack tries hard to convince her that one should not change one's identity or personality just to get accepted by society. So let's get started. About the author. John Updike, 1932 2009, was an American novelist, poet, short story writer, art critic, and literary critic. He won the Pulitzer Prize for Fiction twice. His fiction is distinguished by its attention to the concerns, passions, and suffering of average Americans. Explanation of the chapter. Jack,
Joanne's
father, told her a story every evening, and it had now become almost a custom. Jack started narrating stories to Jo when she was just 2 years old. Over the years, he had started to run out of ideas. Every story was a variation of the basic tale. A small animal, usually named Roger, had some problem. He went to the wise owl, and the owl advised him to go to the wizard. The wizard solved Roger's problem and asked for a fee. Roger didn't have the required amount, but the wizard told Roger where and how he could get the money. Roger found the money, paid the wizard, went home, and had a lovely dinner with his family. It was a Saturday evening and time for Joe's usual naps. Jack asked Joe about the new lead in the story. Joe wanted it to be a skunk. Having a fresh hero momentarily stirred Jack to creative enthusiasm. Jack started narrating the Roger skunk story. Roger smelled very bad. Other creatures loathed him and would run away from him. They teased him by calling him Stinky Skunk. So Roger felt very bad. He had no friends. Joe had not foreseen this and became upset. Jack was happy to get an unexpected reaction from her, as his stories had now become much too predictable for Joe. While narrating the story, Jack heard a chair scrape downstairs. He realized he must go down to help Claire, his wife, paint the woodwork. Claire was pregnant, but he continued with the story. Roger Skunk went to the wise old owl who lived at the top of a very big tree. The enormous owl advised Roger to visit the wizard. At this point, Jo shot a question and looked at Jack. She asked if magic spells were real. Her inquisitive behavior had begun a month ago. She had started asking questions like whether spiders really ate bugs and if God was present everywhere, and so on. Jack didn't like the question as it made him miss a beat in the narrative. However, he answered her that magic spells were real in stories. Roger Skunk reached the wizard's home. The wizard asked him not to come close, as Roger smelled very bad. He asked Roger what he wanted to smell like. Roger said that he wanted to smell like roses. The wizard chanted a magic spell, and Roger started smelling like roses. Jack mistakenly referred to Roger's skunk as Roger Fish. Joe immediately pointed out the mistake. The wizard asked Roger to give him 7 pennies, although Roger only had 4. The wizard told him where to find the remaining 3 pennies. Roger's skunk had to go to the end of the lane and turn around 3 times and look down the magic well. Roger did so and found the pennies and gave them to the wizard. Now all the other creatures liked to play with Roger because he smelled so good. Roger's skunk was very happy and reached home. His mother got very angry. She found the new smell of roses awful. She scolded Roger and told him that he didn't smell like a skunk anymore. She took Roger back to the wizard. She hit the wizard over his head and asked him to give Roger's skunk his original smell back. Joe was surprised. She felt that Roger's skunk would again be lonely. According to her, Mother Skunk was wrong, and the wizard should hit her back. Jack continued with the story. Both mother and son returned home. Mother Skunk was very happy because Roger smelled like a skunk again. Eventually, all the animals got used to his smell and didn't mind it at all. Joe still could not relate to the story. She called Mother Skunk stupid. She asked Jack to tell her a story in which the wizard hits Mother Skunk. Jack tried to reason with her and told her that Roger Skunk loved his mother very much and Mother Skunk knew what was right for her baby. Jack told Joanne to go to sleep and went downstairs to his wife. He felt guilty, looking around at the work she had completed. He found himself stuck in an ugly middle position. He could not convince his daughter, and now his wife seemed to be upset with him. Toward the end of the story, we get a glimpse of the marital tension between Jack and Claire. Though Jack watched his wife work, he did not help her. He felt that both of them were caged together. He did not want to speak with her, work with her, or touch her. We have come to the end of the explanation. Thank you. Stay home, stay safe, stay happy.